おや。おや。
質な725。テステス。
よし。では、シャーロック・ホームズ始めます。ちょっと待った。お、飛ばしてしまった。おお。
Holmes. Holmes, will you stop that?
これは隠れてるになるのかな。
You are utterly mad. Stop, Holmes!
Is that you, Watson?
Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded?
Watson, quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate. Ah, Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
Oh, Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only exercise I've had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use for it.
You're out of your mind.
I missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
Am I the only sane one here?
I suppose that Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey, born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia. Retired in 1884 with a small fortune. He invested his money in a property called Woodman's Lee, near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years, and where he was found dead yesterday.
Has the investigation already begun?
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
Give me half an hour to prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there. I have to go through the yard first. The merry men struck again.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
I should help Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments that I must keep this afternoon.
I shall go alone then.
Tabu.タブ、殺人事件を調べる。これか。 課題。これ何？おう。話すにはどうすんだ？
You go
あ、
along
こう
to
か。
Peter Carey's house. Mrs. Hudson and I will take care of the mess you've made.
Oh, what a mess! What a terrible mess! Oh, what a mess! What a terrible mess!
My archive. I can always consult with it if needed. My archive. I can always consult with it. My archive. I can
同じ
always
か。
consult with it.
これは鍵マークがついてるってことは使えないのかな？お、なんか。おう。あれ？使えるの？どれがいいかな？これかな？これ。化粧台。あら。おー、服装は変わったな。こっちはなんだろう。綺麗だね。で、木こりのり。質感すごい。続ける？
Mr. Holmes, I'm over here. Come on.
ほうほう。へ 通れない。話しかけれないのか。
Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes?
はい。
It seems that the
こうやって調べてくんだね。あ、なんか押してしまった。
it seems that the garden was well maintained.
ここは調べれないのかな。通れない、ここ。
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
お、視点が切り替わったよ。開かない。引っかかった。音ちっちゃいかな。
Inspector Lestrade, when will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we can, Mrs. Carey, I assure you. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective. No doubt you've heard of him. I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
My condolences, Mrs. Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
これは何？ここ。お。進む？あ、なるほどね。ああ。こうやって調べてくんだ。へえ。冠柄って何？うん。これ？
Madam, can you tell me if you saw or heard anything unusual upon the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a terrible scream. But I thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
うん。
Can you please tell me what occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
どれにしよ
The garden is very large and well maintained. Do you employ someone to look after it?
It is true, there is a lot of work, but my husband took care of it himself.
う。へえ、すごいね。
Do you remember at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning, at around 7 o'clock, I noticed the cabin door was open, but I didn't go in to take a look, for I knew my husband would not have liked it. At around 10 o'clock, I dared to glance in through the door and...
10時頃。10時頃。
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. He lived quite an isolated life here, after his retirement.
うーん。
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes, life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh my goodness, but how do you know about that?
プリマスって何？
Never mind.
あ、違う。これじゃなくて、なんか見れないのかな？ちょっと待って。遊び方。なんかないの？
You have indeed suffered a great...
Yes. Life with people.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
プリマスって何？
Yes, Mr. Holmes.
プリマスってなんだ
How
ろう？
do you know about that?
あ、ここで見れるのか。カトリック。プリマスって何？巡礼区。巡礼区かな？巡礼？
You undertook a pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when you were young. That much is evident from the rosary in your hand. The shortest route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is from Plymouth. I believe that you met Peter Carey as a young
プリ
sailor
マスって
there,
場所なのか
and you
な？
married him soon afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How extraordinary.
へえ、そうやって推理していくんだね。
Who could do such a thing? My poor husband.
Mr. Holmes?
はい。ホームズです。ホームズです。洗濯物。芝刈り機。綺麗だね。
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
さっき見たな。
Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin. We took care not to touch anything.
Mr. Holmes?
はい。
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with the evidence.
Ah, good thinking.
Hello, hello, hello.
What is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
Let me see. These
なるほ
scratches
ど。
are
こうやっ
fresh.
てやるのね。へえ。いろん
You're
なこう
right.
視点を集
Someone
め
tried
て
to force open
見
the
つけると。
door.
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
Our mysterious visitor came here last night.
Well, He's not the man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did not have the right tool.
Oh.
What a terrible way to die.
Oh. Wow.
This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong. The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense.
え、突き抜けてるのこれ。
Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer.
あ、そうか。回転させる。回転、あ、こうね。
This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body. This wooden handle is plain and solid. Peter Carey tried to defend himself with this knife, but he did not succeed.
盛りたいナイフだもん。そりゃ勝てんわな。あ、戻っちゃう。
JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook.
JHN。
The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor prior to the crime, but it was dropped into the pool of blood after the death of Peter Carey.
わかるの？どうしてわかるの？あ、開く。
These abbreviations mean something, but what?
何 B？ はあ、なるほど。F1 で操作。へえ。他に。まだ調べるとこあんのかな。あ、
Peter
これか。
Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon.
あ、これで。
The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded. Peter Carey's boots. They look to be a size 8. Old navigation instruments. Nothing interesting.
あ、なるほど。終わると勝手に
The
調
murder
べ終わ
weapon
る
was
といいんだ
probably
ね。
taken from this rack.
はいはい。
The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain. The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn. The tooth of a sperm whale, probably from one of Peter Carey's catches. This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book, a box or a small chest, perhaps.
はあ。
This place is not covered with dust. An object was taken
お、
from
何
here.
この F っ
It was
て。
larger than a book. A box or a small chest, perhaps.
あー、なるほど。へえ。庭師はいない。スペース。スペースここか。あー、まだ特にだな。手帳。まだ証拠がなんか足りない気がする。
Hammerfest. Dundee.
それだけ？
Someone drank from this glass recently.
2つあ
Someone
る。
drank from this glass recently. The initials PC have been crudely burned. A si-
あ、
This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one picture.
ワンピクチャー。はい。え？あ、これは上下にしか動かせないのか。こう、こっち向きで。こうだ。こう、こう、こう、こうで。おー、違うな。もうちょいか。こう。こう。微妙に合ってない。これでいいのか。
This is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among sailors.
そんなことか。
A sailor's drink. It seems that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death.
調べ終わった？タブ PC。 なるほどね。で追加されていくのか。ちょっとここは一人称視点がやりやすいな。
The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain.
他に調べるところはなさそうか。
Mr. Holmes?
はい。
Have you finished inspecting the crime scene?
なるほどね。最後まで見ないとダメなんだ。
These boots don't match the footprints.
うん。
These footprints appear to be quite large.
大きいようだ。大きいようだ。あるものが必要。
Have you finished inspecting the crime scene?
まだ。なんかないのかな。いけない、こっち。
Is this your husband's tobacco pouch?
I'm not sure. It might be, but he hadn't smoked in a very long time.
Your husband's private papers. Do you know where they are?
There was a small tin box, barely larger than a book. He kept his papers there. It should be somewhere in his cabin.
Thank you, madam.
これでつながる？これとこれ。あ。なるほど。手帳。タバコを吸わない。で、はあ、なるほど。こうやって。
Ha. Someone was here yesterday. They attempted to force the door to gain entry.
Who could do such a thing?
ちょっと待ってよ。違う。他にもあるんじゃないか？あ
Well, Mr. Holmes, what do you think?
I think that we are lucky.
And why is that?
Because of last night's attempted break-in.
Oof, you've lost me.
It is very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight, when they will be better prepared.
Aha! So what do you propose?
We shall remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen, ready your pistols. We have a long night ahead of us.
うん。そしたら
We need to find a good place for an ambush. Perhaps behind Carey's cabin, near the window.
窓の近く、小屋の裏。どこだい？小屋の裏でしょ？こっち。
Mr. Holmes?
はい。ここ通れない。ここじゃないな。小屋の裏。どこ？
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
We need to find a good place for an ambush. Perhaps behind Carey's cabin, near the window.
ケアリーだから奥さんの方か。え？そうだっけ？奥さんケアリーだっけ？ケアリーっていう二人だった。
We need to find a good place for an ambush.
小屋の裏
Perhaps
で
behind
窓
Carey's
の
cabin,
近く。
near the window.
This looks like the perfect hiding place.
ここ隠れ場になるの？すげえ見えてそうだけど。さあ、夜ですね。
Shh. Did you hear that? There's someone there. I'm gonna collar him.
I'll be right behind you.
Police! Hold it right there.
捕まった。捕まえたぞ。
Mr. Holmes?
はい。セリ
Mr.
フ
Holmes,
変わら
come
な
and
い
see
んだ
what we've
な。
caught in our net. All right, my fine fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with the death of Captain Carey. I assure you I'm innocent.
Innocent? And what are you doing in his cabin?
Shall I tell you? You came to retrieve what you had lost after killing Peter Carey, but we were here waiting for you.
What is your name?
John Hopley Nelligan, but I didn't.
ジョン・
Do
ホ
you
プレ
deny that you came here yesterday?
No, but yes, it's just that I couldn't.
I'm tired of this. Off we go to the yard. Tomorrow, I'll see that you're put in front of the judge.
What? But you can't. I'm not. It's a terrible mistake.
Enough. You can explain all of that to the judge. You're coming with me to the yard.
But
In light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary. All the same, I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Holmes.
You are welcome, Inspector. But please don't be too hard on our young fellow. I would like to question him tomorrow morning.
拾ったメモ帳にさ JHN って書いてある。あれさっき少年ジョンなんちゃらなんちゃらなんちゃらって言ってたよな。そうするとあ、ジョン・ホプレーネリガン。違う、これジョン・ホプレーネリガンじゃないの？え、違う？ちょっと待って、時間何分だこれ。ちょっとキリがいいのでここでやめとこうか
Mr.
な。
Holmes?
ホームズさん、はい。では今日は終了。おしまいです。おやすみなさい。